Now we see staffing as a human resource management. Staffing function, nowadays we consider staffing function as it is a part of human resource management. What is that human resource management? Now when I was explaining about different departments in the organization, there was different kinds of department like production department, then finance department, then marketing department, and one more department we used to name it, that is HR. Human Resource Department. What is the duty of this Human Resource Department? This Human Resource Department, it has to manage the human resources. So, we say nowadays that staffing, it is a function of this particular department. This Human Resource Department, it includes staffing function. So, we say staffing as a part of human resource management. Why we consider staffing as a part of human resource management? See, earlier days this particular department were not there. This existence of this particular department were not there. Why? Because nowadays when organization grows in a large scale, actually the staffing function, it is a duty of the management, duty of the manager. He personally he has to look into the functions of the staffing, that is which kind of employees he has to take and in how many numbers he has to take, and the employees who are coming to his organization, what kind of skill and knowledge they have to possess. So he personally himself, he has to look into all these functions. Now what happens when organization grows in a large scale, he himself, manager, he cannot look into all those processes. So there is a creation of separate department called Human Resource Department. So there is a creation of separate department. That department is Human Resource Department. So Human Resource Department, it includes the whole and sole process of the staffing function. So Human Resource Department, it looks into the staffing function. So what are the activities this Human Resource Management in order to recruit the employees, or in order to go through this, the function of staffing, what this human resource management it will do, what kind of activities it will carry. So in that, if we go through one by one, there comes recruitment and search of employees. As I said, recruitment is nothing but search of efficient employees. They have to search for the employees. So they firstly human resource management, they have to search for the employees, which kind of employees we require, and from which place we have to take them, and what kind of employees we require. Then one more activity they perform, analyzing jobs and information about the various jobs. Now analyzing jobs. Now jobs are there in the organization. This human resource department has to see which kind of jobs are there in the organization, whether the jobs are available in the production department, or jobs are available in the marketing department, or jobs are available in the finance department. Which department jobs are available and which kind of jobs. Analyzing the job, which kind of jobs are available in our organization, and information about the various jobs. They have to collect the information about the various jobs prevailing in our organization, and they have to publish it. They have to publish for the purpose of recruitment. For calling employees, they have to give a notice in the form of advertisement, which kind of jobs are there. What are the information about, what are the description about particular job. That is the duty of human resource management. Then comes their compensation and incentives. It is also their duty, they have to decide about compensation. Compensation is nothing but that is wages and salary. What kind of salary we need to provide, whether salary or wages, it is based on time or whether it is based on performance. Piece wage and time wage system. We know that there is a two kinds of wage system, that is piece wage and time wage. Time wage is based on time, how many hours this particular employees work, and one more is piece wage, that is based on the performance you will get the salary. So in that case, in case of compensation, they have to decide about their salaries and wages of the employees. And incentives, what is incentives? In addition to their salary and wages, what extra benefit we provide, that we call it as incentives. These incentives will help greatly in order to build the job satisfaction among the workers. So it is also the duty of human resource management. They have to take the decisions about what kind of compensation system we have to follow and what kind of incentives facilities we have to provide in the organization. Now next one is training and development. And this is also the duty of the human resource management, which kind of training they have to provide for the particular employees and how many months training we have to provide. And by providing training, we have to develop the skill and knowledge of the employees. So that training pattern or the process of training and where they have to provide training, everything they have to take the decision. Nextly, maintaining the labor relation. What is this labor relation? Labor relation means relationship. It may be among the employees in the organization or relationship with the different trade unions or a relationship with their management. So it is also the duty of human resource management. They have to maintain the labor relations. What kind of relation they have to maintain. Then next comes handling grievances and complaints. If their employees, if they have any kinds of complaints or any kind of grievances, that is problems among them, it might be related to work or it might be some other matter, but inside the workplace, what kind of problem arises among the workers or due to workers, what kind of problem arises, and their complaints, if they have any complaints against the management or against any of the other employee or against any of their boss or manager, so they have to solve or they have to look into. Who has to look into? This particular department has to look into. Then providing social security and welfare. It is also the duty of the human resource management or human resource department, that is they have to provide security to the employee. Security, it might be the job security. What job security means? What job security means? They have to, particular employee has to retain in that particular organization over a long period of time. That what his boss or company has to retain him. Not for the year, 1 year or for the purpose of 2 years. The employees has to be retained in that particular place. That we can call it as job security or any kind of other social security. Means the employees in the organization, in a workplace, they should not get any other kind of problem related to their safety and security. For that, particular measures has to be taken. It is mainly for the purpose of welfare of the employees. For the purpose of welfare of the employees, they have to look into the safety measures of the employees. So this is also the one of the activities of the human resource department. Then lastly comes the framing the company rules and regulations. Company rules and regulations related to the employees or the workers in order to avoid any kind of legal problems in the future. In order to avoid the legal problems in the future, they have to frame various kinds of rules and regulations for the employees of the organization or the company, mainly related to the employees. This department has to frame. So this particular department, human resource management, it has to conduct these many activities. So these all the activities are related to employees. So we call it also include the process of staffing. Staffing is the part of human resource management. What all functions will come in the process of staffing? There comes recruitment, selection, training. So staffing is also one of the function or one of the activities in the human resource management, since it related to the people of the human resource of the organization. Even staffing also related to the human resource of the organization. So nextly we'll see what is the process of staffing. What is the process of staffing? Now we'll look into the process of staffing. Process means what are the steps involved in the process of staffing. These steps we have to write one. We cannot write the first selection or after that we cannot write compensation. So we have to write in a order wise. So if you see the process, what are the steps involved in that process of staffing? We'll see one by one. In that first one, estimating the manpower requirement. What is that estimating the manpower requirement? That means we have to estimate in what number we require the employees, and also what not only in what number, the main thing what type of candidates we require or what type of employees we require in our particular organizations. So in order to decide that, firstly we have to look into what kind of jobs are available in the organization, And these jobs, these available jobs, which kind of candidate this particular job required, and our candidates what kind of skill and knowledge they should possess. So all these things we have to plan in the first stage. So that we call it as estimating the manpower requirement. Requirement means it includes the number of employees or the candidates, and it includes which kind of or which type of employees we require, what kind of skill they have to possess, what kind of knowledge they should have, and what kind of jobs are available in the organization. Based on that, we should move to the further step. If we get to know what number we require the employees and what kind of employees we require and which kinds of jobs are available, what are the description of this job, what kind of talent this particular job requires. So if we understand all this factor, then we can move further to the next step. So in this step, we have to decide all these factors in advance. So that stage we call it as estimating, means we are planning. We are planning the number or the type of the employees. Then once if we complete with the number or the type, the first stage, then next we move towards the recruitment. So as I said, recruitment is nothing but search for employees. So you may get a question, one more question, what do you mean by recruitment? What do you mean by recruitment? So there is one definition for recruitment, that is, if you see the recruitment here, it is the process for search of, it is the process of search for prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for the jobs in the organization. So what is recruitment? It is the process of search for prospective employees. Prospective employees means they should possess that qualities. They should possess that quality. Which quality? Which quality that particular job is asking. So it is a process of search for prospective employees and stimulating them. What is stimulating them? Means encouraging them to apply for the jobs in the organization. How an organization encourage them to apply for this particular post? So that means recruitment means what is the method of recruitment? Advertisement is a method of recruitment. See, in this stage we will be knowing in what number we require employees and what type of employees we require and what is the description of that particular job and what kind of quality they need to possess. Then when it comes to this stage, we have to give an advertisement. We have to provide an advertisement. It may be in the print media or it may be in the website. We can provide an advertisement that we require these kind of, there is a availability of job in this particular enterprise and description about the job and what kind of qualification they possess in order to take this or apply for this job. So while giving advertisement, it should be in an attractive way. Then only we can, by through that advertisement, we can stimulate the employees or we can encourage the candidates to apply for the jobs in our organization. So recruitment is the process of search for prospective employees and stimulating and encouraging them to apply for the jobs in the organization. So that is the second stage. Recruitment means we are searching for the employment and we need to give the advertisement. It might be through the print media or any of the advertise, or sometimes if it is a factory workers, we write in the factory gate, we write that we require the workers. Workers are those people for whom we are paying the wages, where their much skill is not necessary. We may advertise in the out of the factory gate, we may give the advertisement, we require the laborers here in this particular factory. So that is also we call it as recruitment. So altogether recruitment is a search for the employees and encouraging them to apply for the jobs in the organization through advertisement, to the process of advertisement. Next we move to the next stage, that is selection. What is selection? What do we do? But in the stage of selection, in the recruitment we get variety of application we get, and among that application we have to analyze all the applications. So after analyzing the application, which applications or which candidates we think that they suit for our organization, we have to call them for the selection process, and other applications we have to reject, and after screening the application, some applications we have to select. So we are calling them for the selection process. What is the process of selection? The process of selection we study in detail. We have there only the process of selection. So in the selection process, the among variety of candidates, we have to select the best one. The selection is among number of alternative, we have to choose the best candidate for our particular organization. And the selection process, it has variety of tests. It might be written test or direct personal interviews, then group discussion, so and aptitude test, knowledge test, variety of tests has to be conducted under this particular stage. After that, among number of alternative, we have to choose the best one. Here we are choosing the best one among number of alternative candidates. So that process we call it as selection process. If we move further, after selection, we selected the candidate which is required for our organization. The best candidate only we have chosen. Then we have to place them. Where we have to place? What job suits for them? That position we have to give. That we call it as place. Placement means providing position to the candidates, or we are placing them in their particular job. How we have to give position? Based on their skill and knowledge, we have to give the position. So placement is nothing but we are providing position to the selected candidate whom is selected under the selection process. For them we have to give the job, or we have to assign the job, or we have to give one particular position, that we call it as placement. Then orientation. What is that orientation? That newly appointed employees, we have to introduce that newly appointed employees to their new job, and also new colleagues, and also new work environment and new tasks, everything we are introducing the newly appointed employees to their workplace. That process we call it as orientation. Orientation is nothing but introducing newly appointed employees to their work or to their colleague or to the working environment. So here both stages, placement and orientation. Placement is nothing but placing in the particular job or position. Orientation is introducing them to the new job or new task, or the new manager or the new colleagues. Then next comes there, after placing them in a particular position and after conducting orientation process, nextly comes the training and development. We have to provide training, and we have to decide whether in case of training there are two kinds: on the job training and off the job training. On the job training is nothing but we provide them training in their workplace itself, where they are working, there only we provide the training. Now we are working here, we get trained here only by seeing or by observing other teachers teaching. So that is on the job training. Or off the job training, sometimes they have to be skilled with equipments and machinery. So they have to be sent to some other place and they have to get trained. Then they have to come back to their workplace and they have to work. So in case of training, they have to decide whether it is on the job training or off the job training. Now any companies, if they select the employees initially for a period of 6 months or 1 year, they will be sent to some other place for the purpose of training. After their training, they come back to their workplace, actual work workplace where it is, they come back there and they will start their working. So we, after placement, we will send employees to the training, and we have to decide whether it is on the job training or off the job training. On the job training is getting trained in the workplace itself by working or by carrying the work, and off the job training means we send the candidates or the employees to some other place to get trained. After completing their training, they are coming back to their workplace and they are continuing their work. So that is next one. And development. Development is also training. Development is also training, but we use the word development in case of when we give training to the people who will be in the top management or the executives. So for them, if we provide training, that we call it as development. This word we use in case of employees. This word we use, development is also training. We use in case of the top level people or the top level management, those who will be there, executives or directors. If we are providing training to them, we use the word as development. So it is the fifth stage in the process of staffing, that is training and development. Next we will move towards the next stage, that is performance appraisal. What is the performance appraisal? Performance appraisal comes once after the training. After providing training to the employees, they come back to their workplace, or if it is on the job means they will be in their workplace itself. They continue to carry their actual works rather than training. They get into their real work or actual work. When they start their work after getting training, we have to evaluate or we have to analyze the performance of that particular employee, or we have to examine. How we have to examine? We have to take his past performance in some other companies also. Past performance or present performance based on some standards, which standards we set for him. Now basically we set standards for all the employees. That is, by the end of this month you have to reach this particular goal, or by the end of this month, if it is a factory work, you have to complete this much units of production. So that is a target or standards set to the employees. So based on that standard, we have to evaluate or analyze his performance after completing his task. Means once after, if we complete his task, we can check what he performed or what is the target we have given, whether he reached our target or not. If he reached, it's okay. He's working. The way of working is proper. He can continue. If we do not reach the target, then what kind of actions we have to, what kind of necessary actions we need to take in order to increase his performance. So that we see in case of performance appraisal. So performance appraisal is nothing but evaluating the performance of the employees based on the standards set, what we set. So evaluation of performance comes after the training. Once after providing training to the employees, we have to check their performance based on the standards, whether they are able to reach the standard or not. If they are reaching the standard, it's okay. If they are not reaching the standard, then we need to provide necessary measures we need to take in order to improve his performance. Then next comes the promotion and career planning. What is that promotion and career planning? Promotion is nothing but increase in the position with increment with the higher salary and higher responsibility. In case of promotion, salary will be also higher and responsibility also will be higher. So promotion is nothing but increase in the position with increase in pay and responsibility and career planning. Now promotion and career planning is nothing but if an employee is working in the organization, he joined the organization, and we have to provide him such kind of situation that where he should get an opportunity for promotion to go to higher position. He has to get, while working in that organization, he has to get the opportunity. It is the duty of the manager. He has to provide such kind of task, or he has to provide such kind of environment, or he has to give such kind of challenging work to that particular employees where he can develop to the higher level or where he can reach to the higher position. So that opportunity has to be provided by the management or the manager. So if they chance to get, if we have any chance to get the promotion in that particular organization. So it will be helpful for his personal development. So such kind of opportunity also should provided by this particular function. It has to plan work in such a manner where they can develop themselves, their career also. Next one, the last one we can see that compensation. Compensation, as I said, it is compensation is nothing but wages and salary. They have to decide about the wages and salary. And in case of compensation, we can see here two kinds of payment. One that is direct payment. One we can see we will call it as direct payment. One more we call it as indirect payment. What is the direct payment? Direct payment is nothing but the salary, wages or bonus or incentives what directly paid to you people, that we call it as direct payment. And in case of direct payment, we make it may be you make a direct payment based on performance or based on time. What is that based on performance? Based on performance is nothing but it's based on how many units you produced. Based on that you will get salary. For example, a person produced 500 units, one more person produced 400 units. Who will get higher salary? The person who produced 500 units, he will get more salary than who produced 400 units. It might be in a month. One person produced 400 units, one more person produced 500 units. The person who produced 500 units, he will get more salary rather than person who produced 400 units. This we call it as based on performance. It runs under direct payment. One is based on performance, you will get the direct payment. One more thing, that is based on time. Based on time. Based on time is nothing but some people they will get daily wages if they are factory workers, or sometimes they will get weekly wages, or sometimes we people will get that is monthly wages. It is based on the time, not based on the performance. Whatever may be your performance, you will get salary here based on your time. That is time wage system. One more I call that is based on performance. What do we call it? It is piece wage system. That is based on your production, you will get the salary. And one more payment method I said, indirect payment. What is that indirect payment? You will not get any kind of salary over there. In hand you will not get any. It might be the, for example, insurance. Sometimes you will be having insurance from your company, you will get insurance. That you in hand you will not get any kind of payment. It is indirect payment, you will get insurance facility. Most of the time it is health insurance from your company you will get. Sometimes only for you, sometimes they will give for your family also. And one more thing